Ladies and gentlemen, by the virtue of the powers vested in me as Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I hereby declare that this congregation of the Valley University of Technology is duly constituted for diplomas and degrees to be conferred to those students whose names appear on the programs.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a congregation, you are invited to observe a moment of silence as we observe a prayer before we commence with the official program. Dear Almighty, the Omniscient One, we come before you with all humility to serve you and your people. Please guide us in everything that we say and do. Bless each and every one of us and bless our institution. Inspire us to strive for what which is good and not to be self-seeking and serve our own interests, but let everything be done to your glory. Use us as your vessels of honor so that the fruit of our labor may endure for peace and goodwill towards all mankind. We ask this in your name. Amen. We may be seated. Thank you. A warm welcome to the graduation ceremony of the Valley University of Technology at the Vanderbilt Park campus. Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to welcome you as a congregation gathered here today to witness and celebrate the achievements of our students at VUT on this momentous occasion. A special word of welcome to our distinguished guests, members of staff, families, and friends. To all diplomats and graduates, welcome to this long-awaited day. May it be everything you hoped for. Vice-Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you candidates of the Faculty of Management Sciences of the Valley University of Technology, whose names appear on the program for the receiving of diplomas and degrees. I thank you, Vice Chancellor. National Diploma, Logistics. T. Tabani, RC, cum laude. Atibu, NN. Chabalala, SA. Zamini, PA. Dube, KZ. Guibinga, VD. Okay. Sachwayo, CP. Sachwayo, CP. Jele, MMH. Juala, KKS. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kumalo NC. Kubani K. Leketi TCB. Thank you. Thank you. Dishabani S. Mabaso BM. Machaba R. Madiba BN. Madube C. Maketi TM. Makwe O. Makasa TA. Makondo MC. Mangope KN. Mapani K. Mararakanye R. Maseko BP. Maseko NA. Maseko TS. Mashilwani A. Masufi MA. Matebula B. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Matobela R. Thank you. Mate A. Matikani ML. Matsena N. Mbalweni P. Mbelu SV. Mbelu. Mbamali AS. Mdluli BR. Mdluli B. Thank you. Mhlanga ME. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Mkwanazi SG. Okay, thank you, thank you. Moche KM. Mukhali MA. Mukwena RJ. Mukotong EK. Mulefe N. Munnahotla RP. Munye MM. Musina MS. Mutsapi PL. Mutsileng KC. Mtembu NS. Mtimkulu T. Nemu Tanzela RP. Ngobeni NR. Ngobeni WC. Nsapo N. Nkosi M. Ntlaba AB. Ntonzini N. Nchangasi S. Ngumalo L. Ngumalo M. Ngumalo PS. Pambo NM. Pala MK. Thank you. Thank you. Pule K. Khatebe MM. Ralele R. Ramabulana R. Sekhodi LP. Shashauka PL. Sonopo KN. Takalani ME. Tabanyani N. Chisa NL. Tulo KT. Sotetsi NJ. Tweedy ZS. Zulu PS. Ratazayo SG. Nicht noch. BTech Logistics. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chilwane, SMD, cum laude. Chivunga T, cum laude. Kele NC, cum laude. Mafora JK, cum laude. Masemola SC, cum laude. Marole P, cum laude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mandlazi JC, cum laude. Masaula G, cum laude. Maila ZB, cum laude. Morure TP, cum laude. Mchweni PM, cum laude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you. Ngomani SR, cum laude. Nsapu AN, cum laude. Noaila KS, cum laude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ramulifo RT, cum laude. Sangweni CL, cum laude. Baloi M. Chabalala XO. Chauke MC. Over the mic. Thanks. Thank you. Dikhashu PE. Dipoko LN. SN NV. Gardiner LJ. Guada N. Sheza LN. Rapula MNM. Kujwana GP. Kubai BT. Leutu T. Lerada L. Letoba TM. Leuda NA. Mabasa MA. Maboke P. Makamba DB. Thank you. Makoba BM. Makubele HT. Makondo TR. Makukule A. Malachi KC. Mamatela KK. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Manche MC. Mansu DV. Mapoto SM. Mapesa ML. Mashau ML. Mashele, ST. Sim Mashad. Mashimbe, S. Mashia, MS. Masuku, SB. Mavunga, D. Dakar. Thank you. Thank you. Mazibuko, SN. Mbele, V. Mbongo, MN. Metin, TT. Mkombo, J. Mdawe, ZC. Thank you. Nyangeni, TP. Mudiko, PE.
I conferred it.
Mufukeng, JS. Mufukeng, MJ. Mukwena, MC. Mukwena, NE. Moliko, RHM. Thank you. Molokwani, MT. Munchu, KV. Mungale, SB. Munchu, M.E. Mushweshwe, K.F. Mutaung, L.E. Take your time. Mutsamai, L.G. Msitini, G.F. Mtiani, S.N. Mtombeni, M.P. Mtweni, N.I. Mudubazi, P.M. Mushome, M. Ndaba, M.G. Ndiaza, B.W. Ndlovu, D.F. Ndlovu, M.T. Nkulu, E. Cool. Ngema, B. Ngobeni, PT. Thank you. Nkhadime, P. Nkukwana, ZF. Ntamani, B. Nyembo, TJ. Pete, L. Palandwa M. Kokolweni F. Rabutapi MJ. Khatebe N. Khatebe XW. Razuma M. Sichele SRM. Sequere MM. Shibambu KP. Thank you. Sibui NM. Sisangu JB. Tiko MA. Tute KLM. Chikungulu RE. Thank you. Chichiku B. Bachelor BTech Marketing Management, Ngobeni GP. BTech Logistics, Madikoto FLT. National Diploma Logistics, TAUT. MTech Logistics. Thank you. The dissertation is entitled Drivers of Supply Chain Performance in the Food Retail Industry in Gauteng Province. The supervisor is Dr. E. Chino Mona. The co-supervisor is Prof. C. Mafin. Manguku Ngwapenye. Thank you. MTech Marketing Management. Dissertation titled The Influence of Consumer Perceived Brand Equity on Customer Satisfaction and Brand Loyalty in Mobile Cellular Services. The supervisor is Dr. A. Muposhi, and the co-supervisor is Mr. R. Shamhuyen Hansva. Mudanganyi Marvelous. Vice Chancellor, I hereby request that you confer the diplomas and degrees in absentia on those students whose names appear on the program but could not be present today.
I hereby do confer the degrees and diplomas in absentia on those candidates whose names appear on the program but could not be here today.
Vice Chancellor, I thank you. Awards. Now, these awards are given to students who obtained the highest average in their faculty for the National Diploma, Postgraduate Diploma, BTech, and MTech. Faculty of Management Sciences, BTech Logistics, Chivunga T. Chivunga T. Chivunga T. Vice Chancellor, I thank you.
Kababona, bele miruna rijammino kababona bakhaba kama 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 bele miruna rijammino kababona bakhaba kama
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good afternoon to you. Can we please have another round of applause for the choir? Can we also have another round of applause for the choir master, Mr. Vumza Nomanyama? Thank you. This is our choir master. His name is Mr. Vumile Nomanyama. Thank you very much, Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, my role is very simple, and my role is to thank you and to acknowledge you. The first group of people that I really want to acknowledge are the parents that are sitting here, the parents that are sitting over there, and the parents that are sitting right in front of us. On behalf of this institution, I thank you very much for coming today. Today is also a special day for you because that little cent, that little rand that you tied somewhere, you put under the pillow, you put under the mattress, here is the result. Here is the result. Your dreams, your passion, the thing that you wanted, that your children should be educated, today they are educated. I thank you very much on behalf of the institution. It is also a very special occasion. Right in front of us, we have got grandparents, believe it or not, grandparents, that have come with their walking sticks to witness this auspicious occasion for their grandchildren. Grandparents, we thank you very much. I see a few in front. In my view, you provide the spiritual guidance to your grandchildren. And I do hope that when they go home tonight, they'll acknowledge. I'd also like to acknowledge the guardians. I know some of the students do not have parents. It is their guardians, their uncles, their aunties who paid for their fees. Wherever you are, I thank you. And once more, these are the results of your efforts. Thank you. Some of our students are married. Some of our students have got families. This journey, this arduous journey, this struggle, this endeavor would not have been possible unless your wives supported you, and your husbands supported you, and your children supported you. So, to the families, on behalf of this fine institution, I acknowledge your presence, and I thank you for giving your family members the support that they needed throughout their 3 years, throughout their 4 years, and a few of us that did maybe 5 for a little bit more. Okay. I would like to thank our heads of department that are present this evening. I would like to thank the academics that are present this evening. And I just want you to stand up so that at least we can all acknowledge you in this hall this evening. So all the HODs, all the departments, and everybody right behind you, if you could just stand up, please. Thank you. Parents, guardians, grandparents, spouses, without the efforts of these academics, your children, your wards, your spouses, your grandchildren could not have achieved what they've achieved in these few years. It is the efforts and the sweat of these academics and the heads of departments. So we want to acknowledge them. Ladies and gentlemen, you are fully acknowledged. I'd also like to acknowledge the person who was calling the names of the students. No, you're no longer students, you're now diplomandees and graduates. The person that was announcing the names, who is the acting dean tonight, Dr. B. Mukwena. Can you please stand up, sir? Thank you. We also have got a very special person among us, and that very special person is the president of the SRC. He also happens to be a member of council by virtue of the fact that he is the president of the SRC. So I'd like to ask my colleague, the president of the SRC, Mr. Lemohang Medupe, to stand up. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Medupe. I would like to acknowledge my colleagues from the Registrar's Office who really are the moving spirits behind this occasion, because they are the people that process the results of the students. They are the people that admit the students. So thank you very much, Ms. Zingwa, and thank you very much, Mr. George Mofokeng. Thank you. Can you just stand up so that people see you? We have seen you, but we want to see you again. I would also like to recognize my colleague, Mr. Mike Kuboni from Corporate Affairs, and his team that are really also responsible for this function. So Mr. Kuboni, if you could just stand up, please. That's Mr. Mike Kuboni. Thank you. I would like also to acknowledge all our distinguished visitors that are here. And in my book, I think the grandparents are the most distinguished visitors present this evening. We thank you very much for coming. And then finally, I would like to acknowledge our Vice Chancellor, Professor Gordon Zide. Sir, we thank you very much for your leadership. We thank you very much for your vision. But most importantly, we thank you very much for being you, for being the person you are in guiding this very big ship. And on behalf of this institution, on behalf of the diplomandees, on behalf of the graduates, on behalf of the parents, And on behalf of the guardians, and on behalf of the academics and the HODs, we really would want to thank you in particular for your courage to agree to lead this ship. And thank you very much, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Wow, what unspoiled African voices these are. And I'm sure they deserve yet another round of applause. You know, there is something that the vice principal decided to put aside for me to announce about the choir. Quite shortly, this choir will be cutting a CD, which will be the second of the 26 public universities to have a CD cut. The first is Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University. Well, it is now called Nelson Mandela University. Not that there is an association between me and that university, but evidently this choir is one of the best in the country. Many of us have served in a number of other institutions, but I don't want to tell lies when I say this is indeed one of the very best choirs in South Africa. Why do I say that? I say that because the CD which they are going to cut will be selling at a very reasonable price. And even if you are no longer at the Valley University of Technology, as some of you will be joining the open labor market, don't ask me, but ask Mr. Kuboni, who was requested to rise. I think, yeah, please just rise. Yeah, this is our executive director for marketing. So together with Mr. Vumile Nomanyama, they will be responsible for ensuring that the CD is accessible. And so, please, when you make a contribution in buying that CD, you will in fact be promoting, you will be promoting this choir. for 2 reasons, if not 3. 1, you'll be promoting the VUT University of Technology, which has made you what you are today. 2, you will be making a contribution towards the bursary, which is going to be created and established for these beautiful voices, because many of them, if not all, come from disadvantaged backgrounds. And so with that city, the proceeds will help in ensuring that they too get qualifications which are similar to yours. But the third point is that if there are any additional surpluses, Mr. CFO, these will go towards a special fund which is called championing the students. What we mean by that is that we want to make sure that there are funds set aside to promoting education. And so that is very, very important. Let me greet you all this afternoon. And my speech is going to be very short, Mr. Senior Deputy Registrar. Yesterday he complained about my long speech. And then of course, you know, you don't put a Methodist preacher in front of you and say he must deliver a congratulatory message, because Methodist preachers tend to be very long-winded, but I'm not one of those. Can we just rise for a moment and give recognition and pay respect to Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela? Thank you. Thank you very much. You may be seated. I'm going to talk to you briefly about ethical leadership, because I think ethical leadership is very important and poignant to the Faculty of Management Sciences, because the Faculty of Management Sciences deals, we heard about the supply chain management, we heard about accounting, we heard about auditing, etc. But at the heart of the Faculty of Management Sciences, if you fail to lead ethically and morally, then whatever company you'll be working for will not succeed because of moral deficit. And so I thought that it would be appropriate to talk to you about ethical leadership. But before doing so, I always pride myself when I engage with my colleagues that I'm one of a few who make sure that my children and my nephews and my nieces come to this university, because I cannot lead a university and only to send my nephews and nieces to UJ, which has become so popular. And so, Mr. President, this is, where is the president? Oh, he's coming back. Mr. President, this is not nepotic, but I will ask my nephew to rise, Neo Chisa. Thank you very much, Mtimkulu. That's my nephew. Thank you. And so, when I say come to VUT, I don't just boast about VUT. I say come to VUT because my children and my nephews also join VUT. And so this is very important. That is what ethical leadership is all about. Yesterday, colleagues, I spoke about when we opened the graduation ceremony. I spoke about remembering your roots, because quite often when people graduate, they tend to forget where they come from. And so I saw it appropriate and deemed it appropriate to title my speech, Remember Your Roots. And so upon reflection, I feel that it is equally appropriate that I should just reflect on 1 or 2 messages of remembering your roots. Wherever you are, think of where you're coming from. When money will be getting down deep your pockets, remember the grandmothers and the grandfathers that are sitting here today who have prayed very hard for you to be a graduandi, a diplomandi, and a graduate. So it is important to remember your roots. Secondly, I spoke about the value of education in our lifetime. And the point that I addressed was that education becomes more relevant if you make use of it. And education becomes more relevant if you don't boast about it in shebeens, but if you plow back to community and society. That is what education is all about. And so the gowns and the hoods which we wear just symbolize the fact that you're a graduate, you're a diplomandi. But the beauty and the value of education is what you plow in back to society. So it is very important that you must not just be wearing a gown and a hood, but make a difference to society. And then I spoke about, in the other session, I spoke about what it means to be an African in the challenging times we're living in. Because quite often, we forget our Africanism and our humanism. We tend to be attracted by the many attractions which come our way, particularly the glittering lights of Johannesburg, and we forget the African values and the value system, which is Africanism. This morning, I spoke about a knock at midnight, and I tried to trace 3 kinds of midnights: a moral midnight, a psychological midnight, as well as an economic midnight. All these midnights, you, as graduates and diplomandis from the Faculty of Management Science, will be facing you in the eyes. But I linked my knock at midnight to the Tumamina message of President Cyril Ramaphosa. And so I want to plead with you today that as you walked across the stage and as you gave great indebtedness to your parents and indeed to your grandparents, think of what President Ramaphosa said in Parliament, Tumamina. So that is the message which I'm sending to you tonight and say, wherever you go, ethical leadership is about taking responsibility and accountability of everything that you do. And so, sometime last year, I was requested by the Department of Arts and Culture to talk at a conference which was held in Mthatha about the legacy of O.R. Tambo as an ethical leader. And I'm not going to bore you with that message, but let me just leave you with these question marks. Whether you agree with me or you disagree, it's up to you. But nonetheless, let me put these ethical questions to you. Is it ethical for nurses in hospitals to leave patients unattended and go on strike without having made alternative arrangements? You know what happened about Life Esidimeni. It is something that consistently pricks our consciences. Was that ethical? That's the question that I'm leaving with you. Secondly, is it ethical for teachers to leave learners months on end without tuition? This is a scourge which affects schools in the townships and rural areas. But the ones in the suburbs are better resourced and continue with the business of the day, to the extent that some of our teachers in the townships and rural areas would leave schools in the townships and take their kids to suburbs. Meanwhile, they'll be toy-toying there, and their kids are safe in the suburb. Is that ethical? Is it ethical for civil servants to use departmental procurement processes and systems to enrich themselves at the expense of government? Not only of government, but even at the expense of universities. Is it ethical? You will be dealing with procurement processes, and these questions will be confronting you on a daily basis. Is it ethical for civil servants to take funds earmarked for social grants and use them fraudulently for their own good? You know what happened last year about the Department of Social Services. Was it ethical? I'm leaving that question to you. Is it ethical for members of the South African Police Services and traffic officers to accept bribery from members of the public? And likewise, is it ethical for members of the public to bribe members of SAPS and traffic officers just to beat the system? I heard that there are some members of SAPS as well as members of the traffic departments who accept bribery. Is that ethical? But even so, the person who goes to a member of SAPS and say to him or her, I'll give you 6,000, give me a driver's license. And then that person becomes a danger to society. Is that ethical? Is it ethical and moral for members of the South African Police Services to shoot and kill defenseless and unarmed people when they express their anger and frustration to the government's lack of service delivery through peaceful protest actions and demonstrations? Is it ethical? Was it ethical and moral for members of the SAPS to have been seen and watched by the entire international community dragging a handcuffed would-be culprit Mozambican citizen behind a fast-moving police van for 500 meters? Was that ethical? Was it ethical and moral, as it was equally an indictment on SAPS and the South African government, to have been seen and witnessed by the entire international community brutally beating a defenseless and unarmed Andri Statane, a teacher who was participating in a peaceful protest action against the lack of service delivery in the Free State? Andri Statane subsequently died a painful death, which was caused by the police brutality. Is it ethical to manipulate procurement processes of an organization in order to benefit those close to you, and by extension, to equally benefit your kind self, and thus pursuing personal aggrandizement? Is it ethical? You are going to be confronted with these challenges when time comes for you to join the open labor market. Ethical leadership, which fits O.R. Tambo's stature, is the one better described by Martin Luther King Jr. as he posits, and I quote, Mr. President, I'm quoting Martin Luther King Jr. You know where that comes from. A time like this demands strong minds, great hearts, true faith, and ready hands. Leaders who the lust of office does not kill. Leaders who possess opinions and a will. Leaders who can stand before a demagogue and damn his treacherous flatteries without winking. Tall leaders, sun-crowned, who live above the fog in public duty and in private thinking. That is what ethical leadership is all about. Not pleasing people for the sake of you wanting to be popular. You know, my late mother used to say to us as we're growing up as children, that if out of 10, you've got 9 friends, you should ask a question. Why so many people seem to like me? But conversely, if out of 10, you've got 9 enemies and 1 genuine friend, you know that you are on the better side of doing things. Because popularity is a game that is unethical, and it destroys the human nature. It destroys society. Let me conclude by saying that, colleagues, now that you have qualified, think on these things which I've said to you, and think about growing not only this institution, but the institutions you'll be working for. Jim Collins talks about good to great. And let me, by extension, borrow his words, but add my own words, and say the challenge that would be confronting you would be to grow your businesses, your families, and I want to emphasize your families, from good to great. And in so doing, you will assist us in growing this institution from good to better, and from better to great, from great to awesome, from awesome to auspicious, from auspicious to ostentatious, from ostentatious to incredible, from incredible to remarkable, from remarkable to fantastic, and from fantastic to fabulous, and from fabulous to magnificent, from magnificent to majestic, and from majestic to splendid, from splendid to spectacular, from spectacular to evolutionary, from evolutionary to revolutionary, and from revolutionary to victory, and from victory to contentment. I thank you. Shall we all rise for the singing of the national anthem? By virtue of the powers vested in me as Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I now dissolve the congregation of the VUT University of Technology.
Nina Kaiba